Hello everyone, Rezone here with another Cars video, this time with a bunch of minis. We have 6 packs here with a total of 18 cars from various themes based on the Cars movies and the Cars TV shows. We're going to start with this one, which is based on Dino. We have Dino Lightning McQueen, Cruz Ramirez in her Dino uniform, and the helicopter rotor Turoski, who's the Dino helicopter. So let's get that opened up. Right. Here we have Dino Lightning McQueen. Lightning McQueen is the main character, and throughout the movies, especially in Cars 1 and a bit in Cars 3, he is asked to join Dino. And this is actually part of the vision sequence that he has, where he has a dream about being in Dino, since that's one of the most famous pop and popular sponsors during the races at the time. Here we have one of the main characters from Cars 3, which is Cruz Ramirez, and she's in her Dino uniform, which we see at the very end of Cars 3, where they tribute Doc Hudson, and Lightning will be in his Doc Hudson attire, and Cruz Ramirez has number 51 to represent Doc at the very end of the movie. Lastly, here we have a mini of Rotor Turoski, who's a helicopter, so unlike these two who aren't cars. If you look closely, you can kind of spin the top, and he's one of the helicopters that you see in Cars 1, where Mater's seen riding him near the end of the movie. So that's our Dino themed mini racers. Next, let's go to the Tunner Gang themed one. We have DJ, who's part of the Tunner Gang, Snotrod, who's also part of the Tunner Gang, and Sheriff, who's the cop at Radiator Springs trying to catch them. So we'll start with Snotrod. He's one of the Tunner Gang members who sneezes a lot during the movie. The Tunner Gang is pretty popular for the sequence they have in Cars 1, where they put Mac to sleep and try to get McQueen lost. And another Tunner Gang member who's DJ, he basically does like the music during the movie for the 4 Tunner Gang cars, the others being Boost and Wingo, who aren't included. And lastly, we have the Sheriff of Radiator Springs, and he, as expected, he's one of the cop cars, and he's trying to catch these Tunner Gang cars, since they are getting to Radiator Springs. Next, we're gonna go with a Cars on the Road themed one, and this one's dinosaur themed, with the one episode in Cars on the Road where Lightning and Mater visit an area where there's a bunch of dinosaur-based cars and dinosaur-based statues. They have a dream that they come back alive. So here we have Quadratorchosaur. And as you can see, there's a bunch of dinosaur detailing on these cars. And here are the other 2, who are also dinosaur theme based, and they're basically all from Cars on the Road. And we can see this one's very different with the blue coloring. And you can see that they have like tails and a bunch of like top details and horn details that make it seem like they're kind of dinosaurs. Next, we're gonna go with a Radiator Springs themed pack with Mater, Fillmore, and Ramon. And what's interesting about this pack is none of them are in their normal theme, where we have Ramon in a more colorful Radiator Springs theme. If you look very closely on the hood, you'll see the Radiator Springs Willys Butte decals. You also have brand new Mater, which is in the flashback scenes in Cars 1, we have Mater with his old modern attire where he's not completely rusted, and it's a bright like turquoise, almost light blue color. And lastly, we have Fillmore in a very tie-dye theme where you can see on the sides and the front, that he's much more vibrant than usual in color scheme. And here we have a Nextgen 3-pack with Jackson Storm, Flipped Over, and Nick Shift. They're all Nextgen racers in Cars 3 who basically get a lot of McQueen's era racers to retire due to their more modern technology and just being faster. And Jackson Storm is actually one of the main antagonists, I suppose you could say, for Cars 3, and he races Cruz Ramirez at the end and loses. And two more Next Gens. This one's Nick Shift. He's number 93, the Spearmint racer, and Jackson Storm is the Igniter racer. And lastly, we also have Flipped Over, which is a pun on flipping over. And he is the Intersection racer. And Igniter and Intersection are two new brands in Cars 3 that we don't see in Cars 1. Spearmint was seen in Cars 1. And lastly, we have a Rusty's Racing Center type theme with another variant of Cruz Ramirez, this time in her Rusty's Racing Center attire, as she's to coach Lightning during the start of the movie. But at the end, she starts racing for Rusty's in the very last race that we see in Cars 3. We also have Crew Chief Lightning McQueen in a headset. This is when he swaps over from starting the race and becoming Cruz Ramirez as crew chief for the second half of that last race scene. And lastly, we have Sterling, who's this basically the owner of Rusty's after the old owners decide to sell it. And yeah, that's all 18 cars that we have here. So we have the Rusty's Racing Center themed one with Sterling, Lightning, and Rusty's Cruise. We have the dinosaur theme with a bunch of dinosaur themed cars such as Quadratorchosaur in the middle. And that one's from Cars on the Road. We have the Next Gens with the Intersection racer Flipped Over, Nick Shift, the Spearmint racer, and Jackson Storm, the Igniter racer. We have the Radiator Springs theme pack with New Mater in the middle, Fillmore on the right, Ramona on the left. We have the Dinoco themed one with Dinoco Lightning McQueen, Dinoco Cruz Ramirez on the left, and Rotor Turoski on the right, the helicopter. And lastly, we have the Tunners themed one with Snot Rod on the left, DJ in the middle, who are the two Tunner Gang members, and Sheriff, who is the police for Radiator Springs. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and if you like the videos, try to subscribe so I can put out more videos. Thanks everyone.